Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am driving this, the Mercedes AMG GT R. You can see this is the logo of AMG, and straight away let's open the engine bay. Now the engine bay is massive in length, and you can see the engine. Actually it is a front mid engine, which I'll talk about when I'm driving the car, handcrafted by Alexander Kaut, Mercedes AMG Germany. And my goodness, just look at the engine bay. Isn't that like crazy long? And of course you have insulation and whatnot. This engine is very high tech, but the design of this car is just something else. You get front parking sensors, a massive Mercedes logo here, another Mercedes logo here, a lot of insects, and this beautiful grille as well. This car is a design evolution of the SLS AMG. Lights are beautiful as well, and it gets a projector, very sharp lights at night. You can see the massive diffuser here, of course, for the intercooler to be cooled, and there is no ground clearance on offer. Front splitter here. I mean, it has a wider track than the regular AMG GT, and oh my god, the design is just something else. All right, every detail on this car. Firstly, this green shade, which is known as the green hell mango, looks absolutely stunning. It gets a carbon fiber roof, carbon fiber mirrors, and it also has passive entry. Meanwhile, you can see the tires are so humongous. I mean, this is a 325/30/20 inch rear. Yeah, rear tires are this size, and you can see it gets the optional AMG carbon ceramic brakes as well. The disc size is so big, it's bigger than the one which we see on the Toyota Fortuner, or rather the disc size is bigger than the wheel on the Toyota Fortuner. AMG wheels, beauty, what a beauty. And it runs on Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires of a great grip. And when I keep moving around the car, I have to tell you so many things. Like, look at the attention to detail. V8 bi-turbo written here, beautiful treatment. And the front tire is actually a 19-incher. Yeah, the front tires are 19-inch, which means that it uses off-size tires. Now again, of course, they are the same Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires, but the tire size here is 215/35/19s, and again this size is massive. Again, you can see the brake calipers are finished in golden color. This is really very tasteful. The way Mercedes has designed this car is just something else. I mean, I can keep walking around and around and around because it is so freaking beautiful. I mean, okay, it's a coupe, but it is so freaking amazing. Over here we get a rear diffuser, we get titanium exhaust as well. Two exhaust, another exhaust, quad exhaust here. Look at the diffuser. A lot of active aerodynamics on this car. Rear parking sensors, there's a rear parking camera as well, tail light, and a rear spoiler, which by the way can be adjusted, but it has to be done manually. There's no electric adjustment or electronic adjustment for the rear spoiler here. So let me open the boot right away. And as you can see, boot size is actually decent, but there's nothing to conceal it from the cabin. And you can see this bar seems like a strut bar for added rigidity. Because of that, you know, the seat can't be adjusted much, but you can see the boot area is like decent. You can carry weekend luggage, but there is no spare wheel below this. There's actually nothing around here, and you can pull this carpet up here and you can see all this metal, and speakers are placed here as well. So boot is decent size for a car of this size and category. And look at the carbon fiber rear spoiler. It is massively awesome. Oh my god, what a design. Okay, this has passive entry, which is again a nice thing. And in the night, actually the AMG logo is projected here from the outside rear view mirrors. Meanwhile, it sits to the ground. You can see it gets a full body kit, AMG written here, and foot area might seem a little cramped, but it's not. It does the job. But the door pads are like really very small. These are the controls for the power window, these are the controls for the outside rear view mirrors, and this is the lock and unlock switch. Meanwhile, these are the controls for the headlight, this is for the fog light, this is the handbrake, and this is to open the boot of the vehicle. And it gets electric adjust for the seats. You can see it gets memory seats where you can save up to 3 people settings. And I mean, the location is not the best. Seats are body hugging type, and it's a one-piece seat with AMG written here, piano back finish here. It gets these yellow seat belts as well. Let's quickly get inside, which is kind of a task right now. Yeah, here we are inside the vehicle, and straight away let me tell you that I do not have an AMG GT R cap. So I got the Nissan GT R cap without the hyphen and the Mercedes cap. So yeah, it's kind of blending both of best worlds. Okay, glove box is really tiny, but you've got this beautiful Alcantara finish, which is there everywhere on the roof liner, as well as of course here as well. I mean, it is just so freaking amazing. Twin cup holders here, and you can close this like that. These are the controls for, of course, the air conditioning, and 4 AC vents placed here. Turn off the AC vents like this, and there is an infotainment system here, which is not the latest one because it misses out on a lot of things. It's very similar to the C-Class, and you get this beautiful stitching. In fact, Mercedes has skipped on a lot of features in order to save weight, and there is a center armrest here below which there's space to keep stuff. And And this is the key slot. You can actually place the key here and you can switch it like this to turn on the car. That's also very cool, you know, so you don't lose the key when you're driving hard and fast because it's going to fly. SD card, twin USB ports here as well. And this is the gear lever. So there's no right stock here at all on the steering wheel. There's absolutely no right stock here. And there are a lot of buttons. Of course, they have to be. Meanwhile, this is the control for both the indicators as well as the wipers. Paddles are really nice, finished in piano black. Steering feels nice to hold, but the steering will remind you of other AMG cars. Flat bottom Alcantara finish, really good to hold. These are obviously the controls for the audio system as well as the phone. These are the controls for the multi-information display, which happens to be there, and the usual Mercedes affair. You can get into trip and various other functions, but it should have got one big screen like the E63. That would have been really nice, but I believe that's available in some of the other variants of the Mercedes AMG GT. Anyways, as you can see, the car is so freaking brilliant. Let's quickly turn it on. This is the button to start the vehicle, and there it rose to life. It swipes all the way up, and of course it sounds great. Now, typical Mercedes affair, command system, no touchscreen. This rotary knob is nice. There's a touchpad here as well. You can easily browse through the same, and of course this is to go into the back function. And I mean, there are a lot of buttons here. This is actually to turn on and off the infotainment screen, and also for the volume control. This is to get into the manual mode of the gearbox. This is for the stop start system, which I've turned off right now. This is for the active exhaust. This is for the suspension system. For the AMG ride control, right now I pressed it, AMG ride control sport, AMG ride control sport plus, and this is to turn off ESP. Once I turn off ESP, then I have to press it again. I have to keep it pressed, and once this thing turns off, yeah, traction control off, then I can decide exactly how I want the 9-level traction control system to work. That's again super duper cool. And this is obviously the drive mode selector. This is for individual, this is for comfort, this is for sport, this is for sport plus, and this is of course race. Now, in individual settings, you can vary a lot of things, which I'll tell you while driving this vehicle. The horn is decent actually, and it sounds nice as well. It gets 4-speaker audio system from Burmester, and again, weight saving there. Auto dimming inside rear view mirror, really small sun visor, but obviously you get a light along with a very tiny mirror. Same is the case here as well. And initially you will go and hunt where exactly is the hazard light switch. It is placed here, and it also gets a heated function for the seats, which are placed here on the top. Now, this car has got active arrows, which means that the front splitter as well as the rear spoiler can be adjusted. Press this button, and look, right now I just press this button saying extending spoilers, press and hold button. Okay, so I've pressed it and held the buttons, and now the spoilers will get adjusted. That's done. Meanwhile, this is obviously to turn off the parking sensors, but there are so many lights here. I mean, you can turn on as many lights as you like. Okay, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons right now. Auto dimming inside rear view mirror. This screen is okay, decent, but it could have done with a lot more information. It's not the latest one around. It should have got MBUX, but then again, this is an old car. Let me quickly play an audio right away for you. Audio quality is really very great. In fact, it's phenomenal. And let's use the wipers right away. Good spray. Wipers seem like small, but this is the problem. Everywhere you take this car, people turn around and come to see like exactly what it is. This guy's taking a U-turn. People are just storming everywhere. It's very difficult to drive this car. Anyways, you can actually go and hunt stuff from here itself. You don't have to open the boot as such. Now, obviously the parking sensors, these lights also blink. Meanwhile, the seat is just too upright. Although it is comfortable without a doubt. A mosquito inside, mosquito gone outside now. And by the way, it gets frameless doors. Okay, you can see the doors are frameless, the beautiful doors. They feel really nice. You can see the finish here as well. I mean, very high quality finishing of this vehicle, and obviously you can see that as well. It will tell you exactly which door is open. By the way, I'll show you another nice thing which happens when you get into vehicle. You can see the AMG GT R is here, all right? And when you start the system for the first time, it will actually drive in like there. Yeah, that's again very cool. Although honestly, I did not turn on the audio system for a real long time while driving this car, because the real audio is from the exhaust. Of course, beautiful yellow stitching on the dashboard, of course on the seats as well. So it's really nice how they have blended so many colors beautifully without looking anything over the top. That's how Mercedes does it. Anyways, I mean, the seats are hugging, but they're just too hard and stiff for my liking, and so many buttons here. I mean, it might drive you crazy, but all you have to do is put into race and everything changes in a split second. Anyways guys, dashboard could have been a little bit more exciting. Reminds me of the C-Class because of this. However, let's get driving right away. Right, we're all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning. Now, there are a lot of buttons to press. Manual mode for the gearbox, start, stop, off, active exhaust on, and AMG ride control into Sport Plus, ESP. Okay, I don't have the guts to turn it off, but yeah. Sport handling mode activated. Keep this button pressed, and ESP deactivated. Now we have 9 levels of traction control completely off. Okay, let's put it in between. All right, I can do all this drama. I can simply put it into race mode, and everything sets itself on its own. We are in race mode right now. Air conditioning off. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Race start, and here we go. My God, the acceleration is absolutely sensational. this car throws you right back into the seat. I think this car is possessed because there's just so much punch on offer. There's absolute maddening thrust from this motor. This 4-litre bi-turbo V8 produces 577 horsepower, and my god, what performance! Okay, you can hear how it crackles and pops under, when you lift up from the throttle, but it's really at upshifts, how it actually punches through. So whenever I get to an upshift here and punch, get onto the throttle and at upshift is going to be like absolute my god. Okay, this car can give Lamborghinis a run for their money in the mid-range because the peak torque of 700 Newton meters comes in at a low 1900 RPM and peaks up at 5500 RPM. That's a massively wide torque band. I mean, 700 Newton meters just going to the rear wheels is absolute suicidal. Oh my lord, the way this car pulls in the mid-range and red lines at 7000 RPM, there's just so maddening thrust. This motor is just mind-bogglingly crazy. The sound is just insane. Now, obviously, this is not in the SLS AMG territory because that one uses a naturally aspirated motor. This is a bi-turbo, and the placement of the turbo is such that turbo lag is contained. But honestly, there is some turbo lag. It's really the mid-range which is good, but it's actually a nice thing because when you're driving the car, you're like, okay, there is some lag and all, and then you get onto the throttle, and there the motor kicks in and pushes you back into the seat. It's like someone's hands comes out from the boot, picks your head and smashes it into the headrest because that's the level of performance on offer, and it makes you feel very, very different. It's like a roller coaster ride. That's the level of performance on offer. It's such a roller coaster ride that, trust me, I have not eaten anything in the past 20 hours because if I did eat something, I mean, it would become pav bhaji in my stomach because that's the level of G-forces you experience in the AMG GT R. Absolutely mind-numbing performance. It keeps going on and on and on and on. So 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes 3.6 seconds. Top speed is 318 kilometers per hour. But the best thing about this car is it's not about the acceleration, it is about the way this car corners. Now it has got active rear steering, which means that it's going to steer in the opposite direction till 100 kilometers per hour. Post 100 kilometers per hour, it's going to steer the rear wheels up to 1.5 degrees in the same direction as you are turning, and this car is just so freaking agile around the corners. It's known as the beast of the green hell for a reason, and the reason is that the green hell is, of course, the Nürburgring, and Nürburgring is hell because it's a very difficult track, and this car set the production lap record for a rear wheel drive car, lapping it around 7 minutes 10 seconds. Absolutely blisteringly quick. In fact, it was so freaking quick that the AMG GT R is known to be like a race car. It's like a complete race car. The performance, the handling, the steering is so freaking sharp. Okay, let me take a left turn. Even before I decide I should take a left turn or make any movements from the steering has already done it because the steering is so freaking responsive. It is absolutely mind-numbingly quick, and oh god, there's so much feel and feedback. This car is absolutely stiff. It is mind-bogglingly stiff. You can feel each and every surface on the road. That is the level of stiffness on offer from this vehicle, and the ground clearance is 0. The hood of this car is like 3.7 kilometers long, and my goodness, it's such a tough task to judge this car in traffic. But then there's a bigger problem you have to deal with, is that is the 2.2 kilometer width of this vehicle because it sits on a wider track compared to the regular. Oh my god, that pop. So every time you're maneuvering this car, you have to see the track is so wide, it occupies more than one lane. That's how wide the track is. Obviously, all this has been done in the interest of offering great handling balance, and the handling is absolutely sensational. The steering is so feelsome. The tires offer great grip as well, and this car has got active aeros. It's also got active spoilers. So yeah, the active aeros at the front, you have the active flap, which honestly is just such a party trick of this vehicle. The way it downshifts, mind-boggling. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving till 5000 RPM, race start, and here we go. My god, it pins you back in the seat. I mean, it plays with your small intestine. That's the level of performance, but thankfully it does not play with your kidneys. That's why in the past 20 hours, all I've done is drank water, more water, because it dehydrates you. A lot of concentration is needed. It absolutely pulls like a javelin. It's a rocket ship. My god, OMG! This car can make you mad. This car can make you mad. That's the level of performance on offer. Now this 7-speed AMG speed shift, oh my god, I'm forgetting words. This 7-speed AMG speed shift gearbox, well, it does lightning fast shifts. The shifts are so freaking fast that, trust me, manual mode is not required only. It has manual mode. Of course, there is manual mode on offer, and in manual mode, let me put it into manual mode right now. Now we are in manual mode. It will not upshift unless and until I do so. So here we are, downshifting, and it will stuck. It will get stuck at 7000 RPM. Holy moly! what is this car? What is it? I need to get out of manual mode. I cannot compete with Mercedes' dual clutch gearbox because it is lightning fast with shift. How can you shift gears so fast? What are you up to? Oh my goodness, what performance. Absolutely sensational. And the brakes, oh my lord, the brakes are so freaking strong. I mean, every time I apply the brake pedal, I know it's going to stop 5 kilometers behind because that's the level of braking performance. Carbon ceramic brakes, absolutely no freaking sign of the brakes, you know, deteriorating. Oh god, I even forgetting what. There are absolutely no signs of the brakes deteriorating because they're so freaking strong. Wow, what brakes, the pops, the cracks, I mean, everything is perfecto. Now, obviously, inputs from Lewis Hamilton were given for the development of this vehicle, and right now, this is not the top of the line Mercedes AMG GT because they have recently launched something known as the GT Pro, and they actually launched the GT, the AMG GT, as a replacement to the SLS AMG. By the way, I love the SLS AMG for the curving doors, and they launched it way back in 2014, and then they came up with more variants. So GT, GTS, GTC, which is the Roadster, GTR, GTR Pro. There's a 4-door as well, the 4-door GT. So plenty of options, and my god, this car can make me lose weight just by getting onto the throttle and praying for safety because my lord, what performance. Okay, I'm getting an that's the level of thrust on offer. We're going to take off any moment, any movement. ATC, am I clear for takeoff? No, I'm not. Oh my god, what a car. What an absolute sensation this vehicle is. Okay, now there's a problem. Okay, the problem is there is something known as the Mercedes AMG E63S, which has more power, more torque, is faster from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, and just more practical to live with. It costs lesser as well. So this car is not about straight line acceleration as much as it is about cornering, because through the corners there's so much feel and feedback. And this 9 level of traction control might sound like a gimmick, but hey, here I am becoming brave. Traction control completely turned off, and oh my god, I can feel the rear wheels are like, okay, nobody on earth has been given a worse task than these rear wheels to actually ensure that all the power is put down, and somehow they're able to do it. And that's one of the reasons. Okay, turn back traction control. That is one of the reasons why Mercedes has decided to not give it more power than the E63, because the E63 is 4-wheel drive. This being just rear wheel drive, well, it burns its rear wheels in no time at all, and it loves to slide, but there's good amount of grip on offer. Really high-tech technology as well in terms of hardware, and the performance, oh my god, the ride quality is absolutely pathetic. It's the worst car I've driven in terms of ride quality, because every bump can be felt, and that's one problem when driving at high speeds, because the expansion joints on the roads will make you move all over the place. Woo! Come on, AMG! Oh my lord, this is a javelin throw. I want to drag race with Usain Bolt. Come on, let's see what we go. I'm going to go mad. I'm going to go absolutely mad. Downshift, downshift, downshift. I mean, the gearbox is so freaking smart. Upshift or downshift, it's like bam. Before you think it, it's done. I think there's a super duper computer sitting inside somewhere in that front mid-engine layout to ensure that the downshifts happen before even you can think about it, before you can blink an eyelid, and there the downshift is already there. That is the level of performance, that's the level of thrust, and definitely that is the level this AMG GT R offers. My god, oh god, I've never said god so many times in any video ever, but today it's an entirely different thing altogether. Look at the sweat, alright, just too much of it. Okay, let's turn off the traction control. Race starting. Sorry guys. my, the engine offers massive thrust. The thrust is unreal from this motor. So guys, the AMG GT R, the beast of the green hell, is an absolute sensation. It's more about the handling than outright performance, but in terms of performance also, it is just mind-numbing. It just goes. Get onto the throttle, silence before the storm, mid-range punches you real hard and strong. Titanium exhaust, real wide body in terms of the appearance as well. Looks the part, drives the part, and absolutely flies like a rocket ship. But this car isn't practical. It's not for Indian roads. It's more for the track. It is made for the track, and on the track it totally excels. So there are actually 3 variants available in India. The S, which is costing 2.5 crores on road Mumbai, and then there is the GTC, which happens to be the Roadster, which is priced at 2.6 crores, and this one is priced at 2.65 crores. And you know how good it is? Well, just get on the throttle and you know it is an absolute sensational rocket ship of sorts, because it absolutely flies. the sweat is just in an entirely different level altogether. So guys, this is my video of the Mercedes AMG GT R, and it's an absolute sensation. It's phenomenal, it's ballistic, it's a rocket ship, and the performance, the sound, everything is perfect, other than the fact that the comfort is lacking, with the seats are way too upright for my liking, and of course the seats are on the harder side, the ground clearance is poor, and it attracts way more attention than you would ever like. However, as a car, this is an absolute beast. I can only wonder what the GTR Pro will all be about, because it gets even further hardware bits to make it even better around the corners. How can you better this? How is that even possible? Okay, downshift, listen to it. A downshift here is like a volcano erupting, and it is an absolute volcano which erupts, and then you get an and that's how things pan out. Fuel economy is 3 kilometers per liter. This car weighs 1600 kgs, and these various modes alter a lot of things, including the damping of the suspension, the way the power comes, the engine, as well as the gearbox, and of course the exhaust note as well. Whew, what a mind-boggling car, what a sensation. Launch control is so beautiful in this vehicle. I mean, it's saying race start and bang, it absolutely takes off, and steering is so feelsome. I mean, it absolutely points and shoots. Oh, this vlog is over guys, and I have done a proper sauna right now.